as you know, I went to Africa, and this will be a little presentation about it. So we went because my grandpa is a retired surgeon at a hospital in a city called Busa River, and this was going to be his last trip there. He wanted to take my family and me to see where he worked and to meet his friends, but most of all, to see animals on safari. We've always wanted to go and see the animals from the pictures he took when he came home from his trips. Tanzania is home to some famous safari parks: Mount Kilimanjaro, the tallest mountain in Africa, and the largest collection of art in Africa. It is also home to the most prized gem in Africa, the Tanzanite. Other than all of those things, it has special cities and towns full of friendly, nice people who work very hard to live their lives. They can grow crops like bananas, mangoes, vegetables, coffee, and they eat things like rice, meat, and a porridge-like thing called ugali. People there aren't like us. Their homes, schools, restaurants, and shopping spots aren't as nice as ours. People don't usually have a lot of money either, which makes us super lucky to have what we have. There's a kitchen right here from a house we went to. Right now, Africa is starting summer because it's across the equator. This means it will be rainy and humid, which is good for safari because of the animal's color that blends with grass and dry season. Luckily, it won't be as hot as it is in the summer here in Bakersfield. Honestly, there is a lot to do and visit in Tanzania. We did everything as planned, and it was very exciting. In Busa River, we stayed at a guest house owned by a woman named Mama Kiera and her helper, Rebecca, for a week. We went to church and passed out coats to poor families, and we went to Pastor Cleopa's, one of my grandpa's good friends, house for dinner. One of my favorite things that we did was visit schools and homes. One school had around 50 kids in the class. The homes were cool too. I learned that most people don't have money, and they have to work hard to build their homes and care for food. A very cool place in Tanzania is the Cultural Heritage Center in a city called Arusha. It has paintings and carvings, beads and furniture, but it also has very special handmade masks too. We stopped there to get souvenirs and to eat lunch. Busa River is an awesome location in Tanzania. One very, very, very special thing I've wanted to do forever was to go on safari. It was amazing. On the way to the first safari park, the Tarangire, we had a couple of stops. One was at a Maasai village. I got to go inside a Maasai house like this one, where a member of the tribe filled us in with facts about their people. Another place was Oldupai Gorge, where the oldest human bones in the world were found. We went to 3 parks: the Tarangire, the Serengeti, and the Ngorongoro Crater. That's Serengeti, there's Tarangire, and I think the Ngorongoro Crater is around Serengeti. A man named Boniface was our guide and driver throughout safari. He pointed out to us lots of animals like lions, hippos, leopards, hippopos, cheetahs, monkeys, giraffes, elephants, hippos, zebras, hyenas, crocodiles, and many birds. We stayed at tent camps and lodges and one hotel during safari. They were very nice places. Soon we had to go to the airport so we could fly home. Tanzania is the best trip that anyone could ever go on. It was a lifetime opportunity, and I'll never ever forget it.
Did you have a couple things up there you wanted to talk about? And what about the outfit you had on today? I don't know if anyone noticed that. Did you guys notice that? Okay, and your bracelets? Go ahead.
This dress is actually made by a lady in Africa when we first came to Tanzania. And then it was finished when we were going to go back. And then this is a Maasai necklace. And we got that at the Cultural Heritage Center in one of the shops. bracelets too. So this is a little poster of a couple words I learned that were spoken by people in Africa, and they speak the language Swahili. So Jambo in Swahili means hello. Asante sana means thank you very much. Karibu means welcome. Babu means grandpa. Bibi means grandma. Baba means daddy. Mama means mommy. Mambo Koa means what's up. Sigma means lion. Pole pole means slowly. And pole means sorry. This is a photo album. Again, I got at Cultural Heritage Center, but I have photos in it that are from Tanzania. Here's a picture of my cousins, my sister and I, and Mama Kiera at the guest house backyard. And this is the table that we usually ate at. This is at Pastor Cleopa's house where there were kids who sang for us. And then this was the first day of safari. Here's one of the tents. And then this is a tsetse fly trapper. And tsetse flies are actually very mean flies who bite like a lot when on safari. But there aren't any in this. There aren't any in the Ngorongoro crater, I don't think. This is a yellow-necked spurfowl, a bird, and my sister calls this the chief of Indians, but it's really called a secretary bird. This is female impala. The males have like horns, and this is a dik-dik.
Boys and girls, Emily will pass her pictures around and her journal around in a little bit, but right now we're just going to listen to her telling us about the picture, so when you have a chance to look, you'll remember what she said.
Okay. This is a warthog eating. Usually the females do that. I don't know why, but they kneel on their front legs to eat the grass. And this is a baboon scratching another baboon's armpit. And this is a waterbuck. And then the Difasa waterbuck, this is a common one, but the Difasa have white all around on their bodies. This is a spotted hyena. There are two kinds of hyenas, but we only saw the spotted one. This is my baby cousin's favorite animal, a snail, but actually it's really big. This is a dung beetle, and apparently one of the guides said that the other one's sitting on top of the dung while the other one's moving around because I think they're taking turns. This one is a black-backed jackal, and they're kind of like coyotes except really small. And this is a serval. If you notice, it has a very, very tiny head. But they're also very rare animal. We barely saw it. This is a wildebeest migration. There were actually more thousands of them, but this was on the way back, I think, because most of them have passed away. And this one, all those little pink legs and all around the river are flamingos in the Ngorongoro crater, and a couple wildebeest. These are Nile crocodiles we found at the hippo pool, and these are hippos. These are mongoose. I don't know what kind they are, but they're like these little weasel rat things. But they're everywhere. This is a lilac-breasted roller, my grandma's favorite bird. And these are beehives. And then I don't know what that is in the background. I think it's the other thing. Down here? That's another mongoose. But he's on a termite hill. These are paw prints of a lion. You'll see them closer. And this is me circling a hyena print we found outside my grandma's tent. This is a female lion in the road. There were actually 9 of them coming towards our car. And then there were like 26 when we saw these, but there were these little nurseries around a huge rock, and they're all female lions. This is the beginning of the big 5 animals we saw. This is a Cape buffalo, and this is a whole bunch of them. Cape buffalo are not like the regular ones because they have curly horns and they don't have the big humps. These are elephants, and they're kind of reddish and brown because they roll around in the mud. And this is a rhino. It's blurry, but it also has a baby. We found those in the Gordon crater. This is a leopard. Two of them actually right outside the road. That's not very common. And then here's one up in the tree. And there's me, and I can't really see it either, but they're giraffe running. And then these are zebra. Out here is the entrance to the Gordon crater, and we stopped to have picnic lunch in the car because you could see there are baboons. And Grandpa went outside actually to play with them because there was one sitting on the ground trying to grab my cousin's book through the window, and Grandpa's all like this. So, this is me standing up in the car, and there's a roof. And that's me and Grandma at a Bush TV. You can't see the behind her. That's too bad. And then that's me and Grandpa and my sister all in front of the Gordon crater. And then this is when we went to an orphanage where there were these little kids, boys and girls. And then that's me with another girl, and we were going to be about to perform for other people at Pastor Cleopa's house.
Emily, why don't you just pick up your journal and just maybe read just a couple excerpts from your journal. Boys and girls, I asked you, but yeah, you can go ahead and pass that around, to write daily in her journal about what she did while she was on a trip. So she's just going to pick a couple passages maybe and read.
Okay. This is about this is the day we got back from the airport. The first day first night in Africa. It was Saturday, November 14th in Kilimanjaro Airport. I just got off the last airplane at the Kilimanjaro Airport. We met Grandpa and some African children who gave us wildflowers and sang us a special welcome song. They helped us with our luggage and we drove to the guest house. When I was in the car, Charlotte, my little cousin, gave us a concert, and I looked out the window and saw big trees and lights from houses. We also saw a couple of stores and a big river. Also, at one point, we saw a big owl, but we accidentally hit it. I got out of the car, and we were at the guest house where we would be staying with Mama Kiera. She invited us in, and we all had bread and pineapple, and we went to bed. And this is the first day that we actually were in Africa. I was up early with the call of roosters, and they were very annoying, and we were going to have breakfast at the guest house. We all got dressed for church, and we all went to lunch afterwards. Church was a very, very special thing, and they sang and danced a whole lot. Later on, we went to the store to buy things for the guest house. We went to see the hospital where Grandpa works as a surgeon. Well, used to work as a surgeon. We also went to see the orphanage where the children stay. They were very friendly and nice kids. When we were going around the town, we saw a lot of little beat-up shops and restaurants, and some homes people live in. At lunch, we went to a small restaurant where I ate a burger. For dinner, we had pumpkin soup, which was very good, spaghetti, green beans, and an eggplant sauce at the guest house. For dessert, I had some pieces of sweet mango. So, this is the first day that we went to safari. After a good night's sleep, I woke up at 6:30 to see a giraffe outside my tent. I had a half an hour to get ready, and I had breakfast at 7 o'clock. An hour later, we were going to go on safari. This time, I went in Grayson's car instead of Boniface's. Today, we saw lions, cheetahs, and their cubs, hippo pools, lots of beautiful birds, and warthogs. There were these nasty bugs called tsetse flies that bit us in the car. But at camp they had trappers that were black and blue, which was the flies' favorite colors. We got back to camp at 12:45 for lunch. I had pasta, green beans, cucumber, and tomato salad with French fries. Later on, we went back out on safari when we saw two leopards, the rarest animal in Tanzania, which were up close. After a very nice drive, we got back to camp to have dinner, which was zucchini soup, sweet potatoes, rice, lamb, chicken stew, and eggplants. I was so tired, so we went to bed very early.
Okay, Emily, why don't you just tell them just take a few minutes and tell them about like how long it actually took on your airplane ride and a couple other things, and then we'll go for questions.
Okay. So it says, so the journey there took 22 hours. It was 3 plane rides from LAX to Seattle, Washington, and then from there all the way across in Europe to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam we went to Kilimanjaro.
Any other little facts or little tidbits you want to tell them? Just a couple things.
So this place was established in the early 1960s, and the first people here, after the human bones and stuff, the Stone Age tribes, the Native tribes, and the Maasai tribe. Their system of government is a democracy. It means that they have a government for the people. They have a vote for what's going on. The head of the country is Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, is the president of Tanzania. And they have special holidays, and it took me a long time to find out, but they're mostly Christian holidays, like Christmas or Easter, and maybe, just maybe, Independence Day. Some famous landmarks are Zanzibar, and an island off the coast, Tanzania itself, Mount Kilimanjaro, which is 4 miles high, Lake Victoria, the Serengeti Plains, Lake Tanganyika, and the Ngorongoro Crater. Some foods that are traditional are rice, greens, not a lot of meat, forage-like thing called ugali, fruits like bananas and mangoes, and pineapple. A unique custom is serving roast goat for special occasions like a cake. I had roast goat at a dinner party on November 17th, which was Tuesday, to celebrate my grandpa's birthday in Africa. And it was very chewy, but also very delicious. It was kind of like a roast pig with an apple here, but it was a goat with some sort of greenery in its mouth. So.
Okay, let's give her a round of applause for an excellent presentation. Okay, Emily, we're ready for either a question or a comment you might have. Raise your hand. Emily's going to call on, maybe about 6 or 7 people.
Okay. Brody.
What was the best animal you saw?
Oh, that's a hard one, but probably the rhino. Okay, Max.
Was that book that they're passing around made out of wood?
Some sort of straw thing, and then they have like wood and then fabric around the wood. I don't know. Ronan.
Did you see, how close was the giraffe by your tent?
Well, if I was in the tent right now when I was against the flaps, it's probably around near the Bush TV, which is like straight off the path.
Like, so how far from you right now? How far would the...
Probably where Daddy's standing.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Elise.
When you watched the Bush TV, did you like it?
Yeah, we didn't see too much. I think we heard a lion near my mom's tent, but it was really cool. Brooklyn.
How do you explain Bush TV?
Okay, Bush
I
TV.
just know that it's not real TV.
Pretend this is a fire, a huge bonfire. Okay, and there are chairs all around there. And if I'm sitting in one, we just sit in front of the fire and we watched the forest around us to see if anything cool happened. But our cousins, they also told stories during.
So boys and girls, many of you have gone camping before, and it's like sitting around the campfire at night where you toast your marshmallows and someone might tell a good story, and then you listen to the neighboring sounds around you.
Okay. Actually, we had peanuts, I think, when we were at the campfire. Adam.
I got one question.
Okay.
It's about camping. Have you ever went hunting?
No. There's no hunting, I don't think, in Africa. At least against lions.
I mean, any kind of camping.
No.
Not
Ellie.
What was your favorite part on the safari?
I really liked going to all those lodges because they're not like regular tents where there's just a sleeping bag and a shower outside. They're like canvas, but they have showers and bathrooms inside and then beds for everyone. That's probably my favorite part besides seeing all the animals. Brian.
When you saw the rhino, if you look at the skin color, it's like a white. It was a white rhino.
Oh, it was black.
It was a black rhino.
Taylor.
How long did you stay in Africa?
Stayed 2 weeks and 2 days. Gabby.
What was your favorite food?
My favorite food. Well, I really love pumpkin soup. That was a new thing for me, and I loved it. Yeah. Wow. Riley.
Well, how many houses did you see there?
2, 3. Not too many.
Hey, one question, Brian. You already had your hand up. Sorry. One question or comment per child.
Zach.
I didn't hear you. What's that thing right under the banana?
Under the bananas, that's a lunch lady, and she has like some beans. That's like snacks for kids at the school. Well, for use. And then that's actually in the side school where these people, when they were kids, go. One more question, Josh.
When the lions were in front of the safari car, what did they do? Did they go away?
They just walked right past us. One brushed the side of my window, but yeah.
Okay, boys and girls, anyone else who would like to ask a question or make a comment and you haven't yet? Okay, let's give Emily one more round of applause. And then Emily, your journal, maybe you could pass that around starting with Josh. And they can look at the pictures in the back of the journal. Yeah, just remove that yellow. That's fine. And it will just go up and down the road. So.
Yes, I know.
Thank you so much. No, when he's done, he'll pass it up. And did you had a flag? Were you going to share the flag?
Oh, yeah. Okay. This flag is actually the Tanzanian flag. Ronan questioned why it wasn't the American flag. So it's the Tanzanian flag, and its colors are blue and green, and then yellow and black. And if you notice, my dress also has that. There's green and yellow and blue, and there's white and black. So I got this flag at church because Grandpa wanted to introduce my family to like Tanzania. And all this was at Musa River. We didn't go anywhere else in Africa except Arusha for cultural heritage. And then we just stayed in Musa River.
All right, well, thank you so much. You know what, we'll just leave that. Can we leave the poster here for maybe a week or so, and we'll just leave it up, and once we move it from there, maybe we'll put it over here.